Hey everybody, welcome back. I want to give you guys some tips to help you get through chapter 17. In chapter 17, if you haven't already noticed, we are talking about ICD-10 codes, and you will need the help of a ICD-10 code book. If you have an ICD-9 code book, I'm sure that the codes are going to be the same. If you feel that they could be different, you can just go ahead and let me know that you are using a 9 code book instead of a 10 code book. But again, they should be the same. If I find anything different, I will email you as soon as I know, or as soon as I see anything. I usually tend to email you guys if I have any questions or if I see anything that you need to correct before I do a final grade on it. So let's look at skill 1. You are using code diagnoses from chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the ICD-10 code book. You are reading the following statements, looking at the main terms in volume 2, the alphabetical index diagnostic code book, and then you're selecting a code and confirming it with the code selection in volume 1, the tabular list. So let's talk about that real quick. So in the code book, you have 2 sections. You have section 1, and it is this colorful section back here. And as you can see, the code, so you see M27.3 through M33.22. This is in alphabetical order. So the first part you will use is this volume 2, and volume 2 is actually what is after the introduction. And then volume 1 is the tabular list. So what it's asking you to do is look in volume 2 first, which is first in the book, so it's kind of backwards. 2 first, and then we'll go and verify in volume 1. So let's look at this first one we have. We're looking for the code for the human immunodeficiency virus. It is in alphabetical order, so we would go to the H section, and we would look up human immunodeficiency virus. And as you can see, it is right here under human immunodeficiency virus, which is HIV. The code is B20. What's great about going into the volume 1, the tabular, to make sure, is we are looking for the B codes. The B codes are red, meaning that they are going to be a certain infection and parasitic disease. And again, remember I said everything was color coordinated in different sections, and it's in alphabetical order, as you can see. And they all have different colors. So the B section is this red color. It could be a different color in the version that you're using. But we would go then and look for B20. And it is going to be over on this side. On the bottom, we see here B20, and this is just for verification. So we're finding it in the volume 2 section, and then we're going to volume 1 and just getting our assurance that yes, this is the correct code. So this needs to match up with the, with the description of the code that you're looking for. And what it tells you to do is read the following statements, look up the main term. So when we're looking for Clade Blackwater fever malaria, our main term is going to be, for number 2, malaria. So what we will then do is we're going to go back here to volume 2, and we're going to find the code for malaria. I have it marked off so it can be easily found really quickly. Let's see, we got the M's. So we have malaria here, we found the code. And the first one underneath it is black water fever, which is the code that we're looking for, B50.8. So then you would go back to volume 1 and find malaria, and you would find the black water fever. Make sure that that is the correct code, and then just go ahead and insert it into the lines here. You're going to do that for job skills 1. You're going to do that for job skill 2, job skill 3, job skill 4, and 6. 6, though, is going to look a little different, so let's click on that. So we're doing the same things, only this is coming from what they call chart notes, which means you're kind of given a bunch of information that you don't need. So what you have to do here is you have to read and find those main terms again that we're looking for, pick those out, and that's what we are going to look up. So reading 1 here, Susan Roth presents in the office today for a follow-up visit. She had a breast biopsy performed, and the pathology report indicates she has a primary malignant neoplasm in the lower inner quadrant of her right breast. So when reading this, my main term that I'm going to look for is going to be a neoplasm. So in the book, in volume 2, when I look up neoplasm, it tells me to see the table of neoplasms, which starts right on the next page. See, we have our neoplasm, and it goes and it tells you a neoplasm in all the different areas of the body that you can find them. So what we are going to look for is, it stated that the neoplasm was in her breast. So we're going to come down here, and it shows breast here. And it shows all the different areas that we could find, where we could find a neoplasm. What you notice is there's different columns. So you need to make sure that you are picking the code in the column that the chart note stated. So each column is listed differently: malignant primary, malignant secondary, benign, and other ones that they note as well. So in our chart note, it said that she reported a primary malignant. So from this first column, in the lower inner quadrant of her right breast. So when we look back down here at breast, it shows lower inner quadrant, and it says that C50.3. And that is the code that you would write down, because it falls in this. If it were a malignant secondary, it would be in this column, and that is the code that you would use. However, it is a malignant primary in the lower inner quadrant. So your code that you would write down is going to be the C50.3. So this is pretty simple. You're not doing anything different on any of the job skills. It's going to be the same for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. And then we also want to make sure that we are doing the apply yourself. I know a lot of people missed it, but remember I said in the beginning, anything that has this orange dot here, and when you pull up your grade center, it should show you everything that is being counted for a grade. So if you didn't do it, it's going to show up blank. So just make sure that this orange dot, everything that has an orange dot, which should only be your job skills and the apply yourself questions, you do before the due date. The due date for chapter 17 for these job skills, the apply yourself and test to be done is 11:59 p.m. this coming Monday on the 11th, November 11th. If you have any questions, if you are concerned about anything, if you find yourself lost, please reach out. There is nothing that I can do if you do not reach out to me for help. I try to email back very quickly. I am a full-time staff member here at the Forsyth campus. So again, if you have any questions, I have been sending emails out. So if you don't respond, my belief is that you have read them and understand. If I don't see changes in your work, then I grade accordingly. So if you have any questions about that, if you haven't changed anything, please make sure you are reading emails thoroughly. I know I have sent several emails out where I state more than one thing that you need to change or fix, and only half of it gets done. So just make sure that you're reading the emails that I am sending out, because this is a complete online class. You may feel like you're being bombarded, but again, I am just trying to give you the information that you need to do well and to get through this class. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week.